Welcome to A Narrated Discovery, the channel where we wander slowly, listen deeply, and explore the world's hidden beauty, one country at a time. Today we journey to Samoa, a lush archipelago resting in the heart of the South Pacific, about halfway between Hawaii and New Zealand, northeast of Fiji and west of American Samoa. Samoa is made up of two large islands, Upolu and Savai'i, and several smaller ones, each shaped by ancient volcanoes and the endless breadth of the sea. This Polynesian nation is home to about 220,000 people. The vast majority are Christian, mainly Congregationalist, Methodist, Catholic, and Mormon, though beneath these faiths, the old spirit of fa'a Samoa, the Samoan way, endures, a worldview that weaves together community, respect for elders, and reverence for the land and ocean. Traditional beliefs, stories, and rituals still infuse daily life, making Samoa a place where the old and new meet softly. Settle in, let your breath slow, and let us drift together across the water, following the quiet pulse of Samoa's heart. Imagine yourself standing on a black sand beach at the edge of dawn, where the last stars are fading and the Pacific breathes in long, gentle waves. Palm trees arch over the shore, their fronds whispering in the warm breeze. The sand is cool beneath your feet, still damp from the night's passing showers. As the sky brightens, distant peaks of volcanic green begin to glow, crowned with trailing clouds. The world is hushed, holding its first breath. You walk along the water's edge, feeling the rhythm of the sea. Out on the lagoon, canoes bob quietly, fishermen hauling in their morning catch. Farther out, the barrier reef forms a line of white where waves break and tumble, keeping the lagoon calm and clear. A faint scent of salt, hibiscus, and wood smoke hangs in the air. Behind you, a small village stirs to life. Houses, or fale, sit open to the breeze, oval and roofed with thatch, resting on polished stone floors covered with woven mats. A rooster crows, children's voices rise in laughter, and the first cooking fires send their smoke curling upward. You are greeted with talofa lava, welcome, and a warm, easy smile. Breakfast is simple. Taro, breadfruit baked over hot stones, slices of mango and pawpaw, coconut cream poured over everything. The meal is shared on the cool mat, cross-legged, surrounded by the quiet company of family. An elder tells you stories of his own childhood. Learning to paddle a canoe by the stars, the first time he saw the ocean rise with a cyclone, songs he learned at his grandmother's knee. Around you, the rhythms of Samoa unfold, unhurried, steady, grounded in kin and land. As the sun rises higher, the day gathers pace. You follow a narrow path up from the village, past gardens of taro and banana, past stands of hibiscus and ginger, their flowers vivid against the green. You pause at a spring, its water cold and clear, and watch as women wash clothes and talk quietly, laughter rippling between them like water over stones. Beyond the gardens, the forest thickens. Giant banyans send their roots deep into the earth, their trunks wrapped in moss. Birdsong echoes in the cool shade, and the scent of damp soil mixes with that of crushed fern. A young man climbs a coconut tree with practiced ease, tossing down green nuts that thud softly onto the ground. He cracks one open and shares the sweet, cool water inside. You continue along the path, rising with the land. Soon you reach a waterfall tumbling into a deep blue-green pool. Children leap from the rocks, their laughter ringing through the glen. You sit on a boulder, feeling the spray on your skin, letting time slow to the rhythm of the water's fall. Later, you visit the village fale, the great meeting house. Here, under the wide open roof, the village council gathers to speak, settle disputes, and plan for feasts and ceremonies. The air is thick with the scent of pandanus matting, coconut oil, and anticipation. Chiefs and elders sit in a circle, their words measured and respectful, their decisions shaping the life of all who dwell here. You witness the preparation of an umu, the earth oven at the heart of every feast. Stones are heated in a fire. Food wrapped in banana leaves is layered atop them. Fish, pork, taro, breadfruit, and palusami, young taro leaves baked with coconut cream. The umu is covered with leaves and left to steam, the fragrance growing as the sun climbs higher. At midday, the meal is shared. Everyone gathers, old and young, guests and kin. Hands are washed and plates of woven palm are filled with smoky, tender food. There is little talk at first, just the sound of eating, of thanks given in quiet words, of a breeze stirring the mats. Later, stories rise. Of fishing trips and rugby games, of cyclones and weddings, of the spirits said to dwell in certain trees and stones. After lunch, the village slows. People nap or sit beneath the shade of breadfruit trees, weaving baskets, mending nets, or carving wooden kava bowls. Children chase chickens and butterflies, their voices blending with the steady hum of insects. Far off, you hear a drumbeat, a signal, perhaps, that the afternoon prayer will soon begin. You make your way to the village church, a whitewashed building set high on a hill. Inside, sunlight pours through open windows, and the congregation gathers in simple, bright clothing. The minister's words are gentle, the music rich and layered. Samoan hymns sung in soaring harmonies, filling the space with gratitude and hope. After the service, there is handshaking, laughter, and the sharing of sweet coconut buns. You spend the afternoon by the sea. The tide has risen, the lagoon gleaming in the sunlight. Young men race outrigger canoes, calling to each other in a mix of challenge and joy. Old women sit nearby, their hands busy weaving fine mats from pandanus, their eyes following the racing canoes with pride. The reef shimmers just beneath the surface, alive with parrotfish, butterfly fish, and the flicker of sunlight on coral. As dusk approaches, you walk out onto a spit of land, watching as the sun drops behind Savai'i's high volcanic spine. The sky blazes orange and gold, the air heavy with the scent of jasmine and night-blooming flowers. A conch shell sounds from the village, calling everyone home as darkness falls. Evening in Samoa is soft, unhurried. Fires are lit. The night fills with the scent of wood smoke and roasting breadfruit. Families gather around low tables, sharing leftovers, sipping sweet tea, telling the old stories again. The air is thick with warmth, with the gentle sound of waves, with the hush that comes only when a whole community settles at peace. You are invited to join a siva, Samoan dance, held on the open green. A circle forms, guitars and ukuleles sound, and dancers step into the light. Women moving with slow, graceful hands. Men stamping and turning with energy and pride. The songs tell stories of ancestors and journeys, of love found and lost, of the power and danger of the ocean. The stars come out above the palms, brilliant and close, and the world seems at once very old and brand new. Later, you lie beneath a mosquito net, listening to the night's chorus, frogs, distant drums, the hush of the Pacific. The air is thick and sweet, the darkness alive but safe. You drift asleep, grateful for the kindness of strangers, the beauty of the day, the promise of another sunrise. The days in Samoa flow one into another, marked by small rituals and slow change. Each morning the air smells of rain and hibiscus. Each day there is work and laughter, church and feast, rest and story. You travel to Savai'i, riding a ferry over blue, wind-rippled water. The island rises from the sea, green and wild, its mountains lost in cloud. You visit the Saleala lava fields, where a great eruption once swept through villages and forest, leaving behind black rivers of stone. Children play among the rocks, their laughter a bright thread among the ruins. Flowers bloom in the cracks, and old tombs stand, half buried under the shadow of palms. Here you feel the age of the land, the patience of nature, the resilience of the people. You walk through rainforest, dense with fern and banyan, the air cool and filled with birdsong. Waterfalls plunge into green pools. Giant clams rest in hidden springs. A woman leads you to a sacred pool, where the water is cold and deep. She tells you stories of spirits who live here, of rituals held by moonlight, of the respect given to every living thing. Village life on Savai'i is much the same as on Upolu, slow, communal, attentive to the old ways. You watch men building a fale, setting wooden posts, lashing beams with coconut fiber, roofing with fresh palm leaves. The work is shared, the laughter easy, the pride deep. When the house is finished, there is a feast, songs, and the blessing of elders. You attend a Sunday to'onai, an extended family lunch. The table groans with roast pig, baked taro, fresh fish, and fruit. Prayers are said, food is served, and the meal stretches long into the afternoon. Conversation ebbs and flows, broken by jokes, small dramas, and memories shared. The children slip away to play in the surf, their shouts mingling with the rush of waves. On another day, you follow a river into the highlands, passing through breadfruit groves and small settlements. At a mountain village, elders gather beneath a banyan, telling stories of migrations, of the arrival of the first canoe, of days when the sea was both pathway and wall. You listen, realizing that every Samoan is in some way a voyager. The weather shifts, and rain falls in sudden heavy bursts. The village huddles in their fale, sharing hot cocoa and roasted bananas, watching as the rain drums the thatch. When it stops, the land smells fresh and new. Birds emerge to sing, and the children dance in puddles. You journey to the coast, where the waves break fiercely on volcanic cliffs. Sea spray fills the air, crabs scuttle among black rocks, and the wind is wild and salty. Fishermen cast nets from high ledges, their calls lost to the surf. You are invited to try palolo, coral worm collected by moonlight, a delicacy tasted only once a year. Slippery, briny, rich with the taste of the sea's deep mystery. The days pass in gentle cycles, fishing at dawn, weaving in the shade, songs by firelight, quiet prayer beneath the mango trees. You visit a school where children recite poetry in Samoan and English, singing songs that recall ancestors and faraway lands. Their voices fill the room with light and hope. On a festival day, the whole village gathers on the green for a fia, a night of performance and celebration. Drums beat, torches blaze, and dancers leap and whirl. There is fire dancing, storytelling, and feats of strength and laughter. Food is shared, gifts are exchanged, and the night pulses with life. You spend a quiet morning with a tattooist, watching as he taps a traditional pea, the intricate patterns that mark adulthood, into the skin of a young man. The process is slow, painful, and deeply respected. It is a rite of passage, a visible link to ancestors, a sign of pride and responsibility. As your time in Samoa draws to a close, you realize you have learned not only the rhythms of land and sea, but the deeper song of connection to place, to people, to history that moves like the tide. On your last morning, you rise early to watch the sunrise from the same black sand beach. The world is hushed again, sky brushed with pink and gold. Villagers gather for the dawn prayer, voices blending in song, hands joined, faces turned to the light. You are invited to stand among them, to feel for a moment that you belong, not just as a guest, but as part of the story. You thank your hosts with gifts, bread, fruit, a woven mat. They thank you with laughter, with blessings, with an invitation to return someday. The sea glimmers, the wind is gentle, and the world feels wide and safe. As our narrated discovery of Samoa comes to a close, we hope this journey brought you peace and wonder. If you enjoyed exploring with us, please consider subscribing for more poetic journeys to the world's hidden places. Leave a comment if you have thoughts, suggestions, or a country you'd love us to visit next. And if this brought you a moment of stillness, a like would mean the world. Thank you for exploring gently with us. Until next time.